Good evening, afternoon, or morning, my fellow riders. So, pretty much, I want to do more of a novice, quick review and discussion on the Specialized Crosstrail disc. So, if you guys and gals took notice of my videos, right? I have some ups and downs. So I'm pretty much want to give my honest opinion on this bike and the good and the bad, or pros or cons, or however you want to call it, on the Specialized Crosstrails disc. So here's my take. And if you guys have been, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all been watching the videos, right? So y'all seen I've written through trails, nothing major, alleyway, and pretty much on the road, right? So pretty much I have to say that the company, right, Specialized, speaks the truth. Because let's talk about what kind of bike this is, all right? This is a hybrid, right? As well, it falls under as a fitness bike. So this bike is part road and cross country, right? So as you can see, the handlebars, mountain, cross country, right? The wheels are 27, so it gives you that, the distance, a lot of roll-over action. The fork, lock and unlockable fork. So when you unlock it, you get a smoother ride. Because let's face it, especially out here in Phoenix, a lot of the roads are pretty, they're pretty rough. But I don't mind because it makes me work, and the roads become, it's nothing, pretty much. So for you commuters, y'all know what I'm talking about. So now we establish fitness, right? And as well, it makes a good commuting bike. And if you go into the Specialized website, it falls under fitness and possibility, I think, of adventure. But it's a get around bike. It's pretty sure. I know it does its job. Excuse me, it does its job. So now let's start with the good. The good is comfortability, the distance, the body geometry system going on, from the hand grips, the seat, the frame. So of course I added my own little pieces here and there, the side handlebars and the straps, pedal, old school, a little, I think it's light steel, something that I just guarantee I know it's not gonna break. So riding it, if you're going far, it's gonna take you far, and it also depends on you, on your fitness too. So let's get on to what else. Pretty much we can establish what's good, the pros or the good on this bike. You can attach racks. So if you want to do some grocery shopping, it's possible. Hey, you can actually do it with this bike. And remember, it's a hybrid. So pretty much you can almost do whatever you want with this bike. So the wheels are puncture proof, but I did have a slow leak, and then I had to fill it up, and it went down again. But it took a day, so these tires are pretty good. But that was my fault, not the bike's fault. That if you notice in my videos, I crashed twice. So in the wheels, and when I crashed twice, the fork was I think on lock, so I had no tension. So the front wheel took a lot of pressure. So can't blame the bike. Gotta blame the rider. So that's actually in one of the videos. So showing proof. So I did caught a slow leak, and I finally, ironically, not too far from my job, I ended up going to a different bike shop, not the usual one I will go to, and they're run by, retailers are giants. So now my bike is running on a giant inner tube front wheel. So a few dollars, I needed a tube. So and then kind of go on with the whole slow leak thing. So now the bike is back to normal. So now, since I was just talking about I had a slow leak in my front tire, the cons, the bad. All right, and as you can see, like in some of my videos, if you decide to cut through like a desert trail path to get to the next road, you notice, especially if you're a commuter, right? You just want to like get through. You got to understand, this is not a pure trail bike, all right? All right, so a trail is no suspensions in the back, just the fork in the front. So it's pretty much a hardtail, as in so it's part road, right? Part road bike, and his other half is a part hardtail cross country bike. All right, so as you can see, if you watch the videos and when I'm going through those paths, you can tell I gotta focus. I got, I gotta, and if y'all been watching, I fell twice. So with this bike, it's not really meant to go extremely on hard trails. Like, I mean, if you could do it, go for it. But in my personal opinion, I wouldn't go too hard. Like if there was like Pinnacle Peak, that's not a professional build trail. That's like pretty much like home, like freestyle. Whoever, somebody's just doing favors, is doing as best as they can, for a car, whatever goes through that shortcut, right? And every time you cross that peak, you're taking a chance. You don't know what's been moved, especially when you're coming from the north into, the north side. From the north side, you're going in, and you don't know what's over that rock. Somebody could have placed stones. Before I had the cam, I've seen cinder blocks there, and I had to dodge it. Good thing I have not crashed, and and so forth. So you just never know what's going on with that third path. So surprisingly, the one with the Rocky theme song, right? I actually made it through a sandy path. So if you notice, I start kind of like feel like I'm struggling. It's so sandy, so it's not, because you gotta realize these tires are pretty. They're thin and thick enough. You could say they're made, for road and for weekend adventures, meaning something light, not into heavy. Because you're telling you, when they say weekend adventures, they just want you pretty much you play around a little dirt trail, with the family, but they're not expecting you to go flying, jumping with this bike. I'm not saying it's not impossible. You can, but this is something that you want to keep using to get to work. So it all depends on you. So pretty much at the moment I'm going to be slowing down with the trails because of the front tire, and start exploring more on the road. So I'm going to be doing more showing the runabouts and getting more into the avenues and more exploration in the city, and be more lenient. If you notice, I cleaned my tires. So, you know, because I did have, you know, so to grade this bike from 1 to 10, in my strongest, honest opinion, I would give it a 10. Honestly, I mean, some like, oh, because I own the bike, it's yours. Duh, you spend $600 on this bike. Of course, it's gonna give it a 10. The reason I give it a 10 personally, you might not like the bike, and you might not give it a 10, but because it feels like it's built for me. It's medium size, and I'm about 5'9". I'm about over 200 pounds. So this bike, you know, and the max this bike can carry is 250. So, but I'm just saying this bike, and I carry things depending on where I'm going. Might be taking those U-locks, the chain. You know, I usually take those on. If I know where I'm going, I know where to lock it up, and I know how the zone is. And, you know, it all depends, you know, on my equipment. Sometimes I got a heavy load, and I still manage to get through. I might not go as fast. I mean, obviously, if you're carrying an extra 10 pounds on you, you know, so you got to be wary. So you got to also realize, think to yourself what kind of a rider you are. If you're into city riding and cutting through trails to get into an avenue or road and cutting through an alley and maybe going down some steps, like if you're into this bike right here, is definitely you, men and women. So pretty much that's the truth. So, but if you're planning to like really try to go hard body on a trail, right? Like on a heavy dirt trail, mountain, you're gonna be very frustrated. You're gonna feel like, why am I doing this? You're gonna feel overprotected on the bike. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna, you know, the trail. All I'm gonna say is it's at your own risk. As you can see in my videos, those little man-made out of nowhere trails that leads into one road to the next, it makes it through there, but you still gotta pay attention. If you notice the videos, there's little traps here and there, so you gotta be focused because it's not an official. That's a freestyle, man-made, at your own risk little dirt paths and trails out here in this part of Phoenix. So this bike will do it for you, especially if you want to get to work or get to a shopping center, or if everything is about 2 miles away from you, this bike is pretty much for you. So that's pretty much the bottom line on this bike, and it's worth the spend. Without the disc brakes, is way less than $600. So either way you want to go, depending on your city and weather. You know, I chose discs because I just want to stop when I want to. I'm a little now to spoil you and a little skeptical on the regular brakes, but however, I'll recommend for commuting and fitness and getting around and taking shortcuts, I recommend the Specialized Crosstrail disc. Definitely. Thank you. Have a good night. Take care, and God bless.